call to order the regular board meeting for Monday, October 6th, here in Village of Dolton. Everyone will stand. I'd like to start our pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you remain standing, I'd like to have a former trustee Lowe lead us in prayer tonight.
Our heads. Heavenly Father, we come today, Lord, in your name. Father, we come today, Lord, to have a good meeting. Bless those angels. Anybody sitting amongst the Lord, touch them and heal them tonight. In your name. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Ghost. Amen. Amen.
Okay. I don't know. Madam Clerk, you want to take a roll, please?
Trustee Rendell? Here. Trustee Pearson? Here. Trustee Smith? Here. Trustee Hunt?
Present.
Trustee Brown?
Here.
Trustee Henry?
Okay, let the record reflect that all members of the board are here tonight. Okay, Village Clerk's report. Oh, also, let the record reflect that our department heads are here along with our village administrator Stan Urban and our village engineer Ron Smith, and our attorney, village attorney John Burke.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everyone. This evening, trustees, there are 3 separate board minutes submitted for your approval. From the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees of August 18th, the Committee of the Whole of August 18th, 2014, and the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees of September 2nd. And you should have received by email from me today, and it's been placed on your desk, there was one correction submitted by Trustee Hunt, minutes of September 2nd. If there are no objections to those corrections, I would ask for a motion to approve as presented. Correction was on page 5, minutes of September 2nd. Wording change as outlined. Under consent agenda, this is September 2nd minutes on page 5 towards the top. Consent agenda item number 6, new hires part-time clerks. The proposed language, earlier language, was discussion preceded the motion on the lack of proposed hires of Dolton residents, period. Trustee Hunt has requested that be changed to discussion preceded the motion on why Dolton residents are not being proposed for positions.
Is that what actually was said in the meeting? Or is that something that's put in after?
My interpretation of the proposed change was it's restating what was already said. Just a different way of saying it.
Okay. Any discussion on that? Any objections?
I make a motion, we accept the meeting minutes for August 18th of the meeting of the trustee board, the committee of the whole on August 18th, and also September 2nd with the corrections to the minutes as in our packet.
Second. We moved in second to accept the board meetings for those regular, the committee of the whole regular, and 2 regular board meetings with the noted corrections. Any discussion? No discussion. Vote.
Trustee Rendell?
Aye.
Trustee Pearson?
Aye.
Trustee Smith?
Aye.
Trustee Hunt?
Aye.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Henry?
Aye.
6 ayes, motion carries. Next thing on the agenda.
Yes, and one communication
Okay.
that should also be on the table for everyone this evening from Mrs. Lita Creighton, parent coordinator of Thornridge High School, requesting our presence and also for everyone's note, there are flyers on the table regarding the second annual parent and community induction ceremony at Norwood High School on Tuesday, October 28th at 7 p.m. Now, Mrs. Creighton's here. I expect that she will elaborate further later on this evening.
Okay. Good. Any further communication? Okay, no further communication. Okay, next thing on the agenda is an engineer's report. Mr. Smith.
Thank you this evening, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor, Madam Clerk, trustees, and residents of the Village of Dolton. Before you have a copy of my report, there are just a couple of items on there. First item we have is 142nd Street, Main Street, from Indiana to Interstate I-94. The Illinois Department of Transportation currently started working on this section of roadway on Saturday. The improvements are, basically they're going to mill off 2¼ inches of the existing pavement. They're going to resurface it. They're going to bring the intersections up to ADA requirements, and also they're going to do some thermoplastic pavement markings, and they're going to do some landscaping. The improvements are scheduled to be completed before Thanksgiving. From talking to the state today, they said November 26th is the date that they're shooting for the improvements to be completed. So residents, please be advised that there may be some lane changes. Just make sure you take a look at the flaggers that are out, and give yourself a little more time if you're taking 142nd Street. The second item I have on my report is a law enforcement equipment grant. This grant is for surplus property by the Department of Defense. I gave a copy to the police chief. The property includes office furniture, exercise equipment, generators, tents, essential police equipment such as handcuffs, riot gear, digital cameras, also weapons, first aid kits, blankets, bedding, and combat boots. In the report, it's a detail of how to access the website and to apply for some of the surplus equipment from the Department of Defense. And that concludes my report. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question about the water meter. I think we passed that thing to increase the rates. Did we get that grant for the water meters?
What we're
Any
doing,
update on that?
what we're doing right now, we're completing the project plan. There's an extensive project plan that has to be submitted to the IEPA along with the ordinance and everything else that includes increasing the rates. Before the next meeting, I will actually send you an update. That project plan should be almost completed, and there are some checklist items that have to be completed. Also, it's more paperwork, but I will give you a definite date of when everything will be completed. Then we'll resubmit the final submittal to the IEPA for the dollars for the replacement of the water.
Was it a deadline to apply for that, or do we want to meet the deadline?
It's kind of a rolling, there's no set date that we have to apply, but you basically want to apply as soon as possible so you can be first in line to get the funds. Okay? But I'll provide you an email update on that.
Mr. Smith,
Yes, trustee?
the law enforcement grant,
Yes.
is there, I'm looking for a deadline. I see down here it says state and local participants will be required to certify their inventory annually by January 31st. Does that also mean people who are trying to get this grant through the Department of Defense, or they're trying to get material, do they have to put everything in or submit everything by the 31st of January, or will that all be on the website?
I think that's on the website, all the details of when the grant submittal date is. But for right now, this basically gives a detail of everything that the grant entails, like all the equipment, and once you click on the website, it'll give you what the cutoff date is to apply for the surplus equipment from the Department of Defense.
Surplus, and do we have any cost, or is that all on the website as well? Will we have to match, or?
There's no cost, it's surplus equipment.
Well, I understand that, but still sometimes people, if they do a surplus, you may get it at a surplus.
No.
price. No,
It's
okay.
surplus equipment. Okay. Thank you very much.
Mr. Smith, Next thing on the agenda are committee reports. First is police and fire. Trustee Pearson.
Good evening, everyone. Fire department responded to 225 calls between September 15th and October 6th. The breakdown is as follows. There was 225 EMS calls, 32 fire-related calls, 14 motor vehicle accidents, 10 CO calls. We are 482 calls ahead of last year's pace. On Saturday, October 25th, the fire department will be hosting an open house at Station 1 from 9 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. There will be CPR training, teddy bear EMS for kids, fire extinguisher classes, get low and go to show how to get out of a fire. We will demonstrate auto extraction, and we will also demonstrate a car fire. There will also be blood pressure screening all day. Flyers will be sent out to the schools, available at the village library hall, the parks, and so forth. And we encourage everyone to attend. Is this one of the flyers you have here with this?
No, we got it all real.
And from Police Chief John Franklin. Calls for service for the Dolton Police Department, September 1st through October 6th. The number of calls for service received by Dolton Police were 2,074 calls. There is a breakdown of the calls, but it's a long report. I won't go through it. But I would like to ask the two chiefs where we stand. I know we have 6 fire personnel that we're looking for, firemen we're trying to hire. Chief, maybe you could tell us where we stand with that.
Yes, sir. We've,
I'm sorry, that was for you,
Oh,
on a fire.
Right now, we're still waiting on the backgrounds, and that's it. We will have the results tomorrow from the poly. And we're still calling because some have turned down the job because they have gone elsewhere. So right now, we gotta still reach out to the next people on the list.
But you do have 3 that you say are near ready to go?
Yes.
Okay. And Chief Franklin, where do we stand with the part-time hires?
we've hired 2 of our 6. We're still looking to get 2 more candidates for part-time. And as you know, we have 3 openings in the department right now because we've had 2 recent retirements, and we had 1 officer actually leave the department and go work for another department. We'll work for Midlothian, so actually we have 3 full-time openings. We'll be approaching the board about filling those 3 full-time slots.
Okay, and when can we anticipate the other 2 part-timers?
They're presently doing their physicals this week, and their polygraphs following.
Okay. And the scale detail, I understand we have the scales.
We have the scales. We finally got those done by the Illinois State Police, yes.
Have we started weighing trucks going through?
Not as of yet. We hope to get that off the ground shortly.
Okay. Thank you, and that's all I have today.
Thank you, Trustee Pearson. Next thing is on the agenda is committee reports for Public Works. Trustee Pendel.
Good afternoon. Public Works received and responded to 325 requests for services, 57 water meters installed for this month, maintained 4 plow truck vehicles for maintenance, 1 trailer and 1 payloader, 5 police cars and 2 housing cars. He did 41 loader pickups, 67 requests for Julie locations, 12 sewer complaints, 21 street lights repaired, and 115 branches picked up. Please do not put your trash out until the night before pickup. Put all bulk items into your garbage can, not to the side of it. Trees and branches in 4-foot sections tied and bundled. Street lights, please report to Public Works. If you see any water main breaks, please contact the Public Works as soon as possible. Public Works opens from 7 a.m. to 3:30 each day. If you're not able to get a hold of somebody, you can leave a message on the phone. And just a reminder that it's getting a little darker in the morning and a little darker in the afternoon sooner. So watch for the children that's out there playing. Thank you.
Thank you, trustee. Excuse me, housing, trustee Henry.
Thank you. Good evening, residents. Good to be back. Start off, Village of Dolton Housing Activity Counts from September 1st through September 30th of 2014. We have the following: 35 as-is sales, 30 sale inspections, 47 escrow release inspections, 21 escrow deposits, 19 escrow refunds, 8 quick claims, 10 judicial, 48 rental license, 239 rental inspections, 8 vacant property permits, 5 trusts, 7 tenant water deposits, a total of 507 that was processed. And the amount that we brought in for that month was $24,860. Next on my housing report, I have 3 items I'd like to share. One, I was invited to a roundtable event by Congresswoman Robin Kelly. It was in regards to small business owners. What are our needs? The main issue at the table was staff. Most people hire 20 to 30 people and only end up with 2 good employees from this. She was reaching out to the business community to see what our issues are and put together the resources to help us succeed. As I get the information, I will announce it to the residents because sharing is caring. Next on my agenda is we are still hiring at the village. Tanjanique, she is hiring for junior accounting position. Ms. Urban, are we looking for crossing guards too?
I didn't get a chance to talk to the chiefs. Chiefs, are you still looking for crossing guards? I know there's 2 on the agenda for
Yes.
tonight. Do you want?
We submitted who we could process, who we processed already.
You're looking for additional crossing guards, though?
We need 2.
Thank you.
And we are still hiring for crossing guards. We need 2. Next, I have a flyer from Robin Kelly. Her 2nd annual hiring event will be Friday, October 24th at 9 a.m. to noon. It's held at South Suburban College in the gymnasium. That address is 15800 South State Street in South Holland. And there will be over 60 employers, including like ComEd, NICOR, different people like that. So come prepared and dress for success. And last but not least, what people are waiting on, I am pulling the housing auction this evening from the agenda due to trying to get taxes removed. If the village is unsuccessful in doing so, then we will proceed to selling the village-owned property, which were the 3 properties I mentioned: 14732 Clark, 14446 Park, 430 East 144th Street. And that concludes my report. Oh wait, I'm sorry, last thing. I want to add it onto the CAL meeting so that we can further discuss it. That concludes my report.
Thank you, trustee Henry. Next thing on the report is Chester and Melody Fitness Center, trustee Smith.
Thank you. Good evening, neighbors, fellow residents. I hope everyone had a blessed day today. I don't have much of a report today. I can tell you last week, they just did inspections. State came and did inspections yearly, annually, and instead of it taking 5 days, it took like 3 days. We will be talking about that. I'm going to have a meeting with them Friday so we can talk about where we stand after that inspection. I am learning running a senior facility is not so cut and dry. It's not just move the people in and it's okay. There are a number of steps that need to be taken when it comes to a legitimate senior facility that is a SLIF, that has the state involved. You have to do things a certain way. You can't take shortcuts. Well, shortcuts were taken, and that's why it's kind of like it is now. But the point is to be solution-oriented instead of thinking about the problems and where it is now, how to get out of those problems. So we did incur a lot of problems coming in with a new management system. Well, not the management team itself, but taking over, finding the problems that lingered with our old management company who was running the Dorchester. But we are on the right path. I thank God for that. And I'll tell you more about that at our meeting in 2 weeks, okay? And that's all I have for Melanie and the Dorchester and Melanie, because I have to talk to Mr. Urban about some people who are trying to come into Melanie's, and with very little information, I might add. But with that said, I will make this announcement under my report, and that is for those who have children, or know people who have children, who may be struggling a little bit, or a lot. Tomorrow, October 7th, October 8th, and October 9th, at Dolton Township, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. The flyers are on the table. They will be signing up. Anyone, if you have this proof to show that you live in the township, they're signing you up so that your kids can get gifts. They are going to ask for sizes and things of that nature because they are very specific when they order gifts or when they give gifts out. There will be the child's name on them, the right size for whatever pants, whatever clothes they wear, and their toys. So if you are at all interested, there are flyers on the table. I will make some more just to have them. So if you want to pick one up when you come and pay a bill or whatever the case may be, you can grab one. Okay? And there are also some books over there for South Suburban College's Business and Career Institute. These are classes that are they're not credited classes, but they are for continued education. If you want to learn welding, if you want to learn how to do construction highway, OSHA training, leadership training, things of that nature that may help you in your workplace or help you get a job. These are the classes to take. So you can take a booklet as well, and they're over on the table, and that is all I have to say tonight. That is my report.
Thank you very much, Trustee. Next on the agenda is the Youth Committee person, Trustee Brown.
Thank you, man. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to report out on the Dolton Bears High School basketball team won the championship in Dallas, Texas, and they received awards and recognition at the Dolton Bears homecoming this past weekend at Dolton Park. The Bears was host to a Homer Glen youth football organization, in which there was enormous amount of games played Saturday and Sunday over the weekend. So we had a lot of visitors that came in from Homer Glen over the weekend, so and they enjoyed their stay here with us. Also, I'd like to reach out to any individual that's interested in being official for the Illinois High School Association. Right now, they're accepting basketball officials as well as volleyball officials. And you can go on www.ihsa. And to round it up, there's a leaf pickup service sponsored by the Dolton Township to all seniors. There will be assistance starting November the 1st. So if you're a senior that don't feel like raking leave this year, please contact Dolton Township, 708-596-6040, extension 4001, 4007, or either 4016. That's for leave assistance for any young senior that don't feel like raking leave this fall. Mr. Horton. That's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Brown. Trustee Brown, what's the age for senior? Who qualify for?
60.
60, okay. All right, thank you.
60 and up.
Next item on the agenda is Finance Committee of the Whole, Trustee Brown.
Thank you, Mayor. This evening, I do not have a report.
All right, thank you. Next thing on the agenda is Village Administrator's report.
Yes, Mayor, I have one thing to report, just to keep the board informed. As you all know, you agreed and voted on to become part of the local debt recovery system with the state of Illinois. That was done earlier this year. What that means, to refresh everyone's mind, is that if someone has a debt that is owed to the village, we have entered into an intergovernmental agreement with the state of Illinois that when someone goes to file their income tax, or they are a state employee, or they win a lottery, that money that is owed to this village would be deducted and then sent to us after a 60-day waiting period. We turned in last Monday, a week ago today, we went live with them,
and we turned in a little over $1 million worth of debt. There is much more that we will be turning in, we just didn't want to dump it on them all at one time. Thursday night at about 2 a.m. is when they refreshed the systems. And I got an email that said that they had secured $3,700. Then on Friday evening, about 2 a.m., I got another one that they secured $19,000. Now, we will not see that money for another 60 days. Eventually, we will have, at this time, debt owed to the village of approximately over $4 million that we will be funneling into the state prior to the next tax season. One of them, I called the state and wanted to know who's filing income tax. Well, 3 of them are state employees, and one of them was a very unlucky lottery winner because he won $2,500, but he owed the village $1,900. So just want to give you an update that that is in process. It's a paperless system. It's all computerized. It's working with our individual departments like police and code enforcement, working with MCA, our collection agency, and then from that point, going to the court system, or before that, going to the court system and then on to the state. So it's a plus win-win. To give you an idea, Blue Island last year, for the first year, collected over $400,000 last spring.
Question is this, so is parking tickets and code enforcement tickets that you're sending, can we send water bill payments too?
Yeah, we will have to, we're looking into that. Anything that's sent to the state has to have the opportunity to go before an adjudication hearing. The way our water billing system is set up right now, it is not. What will be added is we're going to be sending out letters in the very near future to the people that did not buy village stickers. They will have the opportunity to come to court to either produce that they bought them or they can buy them, or we're going to turn those all over to the state also for collection. And that's all I have there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next thing on the agenda is the finance report by Ms. Miller.
I'm requesting approval to pay corporate bills totaling $795,212.62. The breakdown is corporate payments, $482,175.65. Gross payroll, $303,711.62. The Melanie Fitness total register is $1,217.42. And gross payroll is $6,968.58.
Make a motion that we pay corporate bills in the amount of $794,212.62.
Is there a second?
Yeah, the second before you ask.
I second.
The second, we're gonna, right, now you can.
Okay.
I second the
It's-
motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to pay the corporate bills in the amount of $700 some odd thousand, some change. Any other questions?
I have a question on the village payroll. We have, I'm looking on the payroll sheet here, Chairman, see the fire chief, 25 hours overtime?
Yes,
Is he exempt employee or not?
yeah. Janice said today that she thought that was an error. The person below her did get below him did get 25 hours, and somehow it was credited to Chief Hughes instead of that person.
So this 25 hours overtime,
Should have been to an actual union employee, not to Chief Hughes.
so this paid out to chief?
It was.
Okay, so what are we doing?
The payroll company will deduct it back from.
Okay, because this is a direct deposit that he had.
What, we can't go into the chief's personal checking account and get a debit. We will, in next pay period, I think would be the easiest way is to debit, not issue that, take that back from him. Whatever that dollar amount is.
I think you have to sign off on that.
Yeah, we will, that's why I have to, first I've heard of this was right now, so I will look into it first thing in the morning.
I don't even look at my, so I didn't.
But he probably wouldn't have no problem spending it, you know, by not putting it in. But I'm just saying, this is just on the extra $1,600.
I didn't look. I don't even look.
Yeah, so don't spend $1,600.
I thought your arrow was cut.
I do have a
I
question.
just figured it might have been a mistake, but I
Well,
figured you wouldn't take any money that, you know, you didn't earn. So that 25 hours overtime equates to $1,600. So
Yes, yes.
just want to make him aware that it is in there because he said he has direct deposit, so he won't overspend.
Does that change the figure? Does that change the bottom line?
No, because the dollars have already been executed and they're in his checking account at this point.
You know, I don't see the Millennium Fitness payable bills in my packet.
They are in there. The village of Dolton and Melanie Fitness are combined. So I would have to pull the vendor out for you, but it's the 60 is the beginning of the GL number. And that vendor has other bills being paid as well from 01 too, so they're combined. But if you look at the back, it's like a breakdown, and it tells you the breakdown of Melanie Fitness versus Village of Dolton. I can show you.
Yeah, it just look like we, on this front sheet, it look like we just, so I'm looking at page 9. So is the Millennium Fitness this $1,217.42 is the recreational center enterprise?
Yes.
So it just looked like we counted it twice, so, cause we got the 4, and my eyes may be deceiving now, but it looked like we got 482,000. That equals the corporate payments. It seemed like that might be $1,000 to $1,200 more. So I'm looking at page 9.
The 1,217 is included in that total.
So on the front page, are we counting it twice?
No, we're not. It's just on the front page, she's just breaking it out. The total corporate payments is the 4,812. She's just breaking it out so you'll see it on the first page.
What we're trying to do, trustee, is track expenditures in the way of Melanie this year as compared to last year. So we're breaking it out on the front page, but it's all now in our general because of the fact that those are our employees now. They're not double scares and they're not the new management team.
So you do not think, I would think the corporate payment plus the Melanie Fitness payments, those two should total $482,175, so it can tally to page 9. Right now, if I total those two amounts, it does not equal $482,175. And that's why I don't want to spend a lot of time on it.
page 9, you totaled all of those line items to get to the 482.
Well, I looked at
It's several line items.
I just looked at the grand total. I was just going off the
So you
report.
have to add all of them. The general fund, the 911, motor tax, 2004A, water fund, it's different funds on that total on page 9. That totals up to the 482.
I don't want to spend that.
Well, I have a quick one for you. Are we gonna start now doing that, putting the Melanie Fitness payments in with corporate?
We started that when they switched over to Awaken.
Awaken has no responsibility for the Melanie, so it all falls onto the village now.
I have a question. We have videotaping at $1,250,
What page are you on?
page 3. See it? I don't understand why we're still paying for videotaping and nobody gets to see it. And it's getting very frustrating that for some reason we can't see it. And I asked for CDs because it's being taped, it's being edited, and I've got one tape as a trustee. And I thought we were gonna put it on YouTube, and it didn't get on YouTube. So I'm a little confused at what's happening, the reason we're not getting it to where the residents can see it, or where we can see it, and we're paying out money.
I'm sorry, I thought it was online. Is it
No.
online?
No, it's not online. I don't know where it is, but it's not online, it's not in my office so I can look at it, it's not on a CD I can play, but we're paying $1,250 this time for a couple items. Nobody has an answer for that?
I certainly don't have an answer for it, because I don't get them either. You know, I requested it just.
Can
like
we
you
have it
requested.
put on YouTube? Can we have it put somewhere so the residents can see it? Who's in charge to put it somewhere? If we're gonna pay $1,250, it needs to go somewhere. Or stop it. We have a tape recorder that tapes all of our minutes. That's a lot of money.
I kind of thought, Trustee Henry, you were taking the lead on it.
Today, I'm not gonna do this. So, back and forth, bickering and fighting. Not gonna.
I do,
We-
I'm sorry.
No, she just asked a question, but I
I
thought in
answered
the,
it last time, and I answered it again. You asked whoever you did for a tape, simple as that. And we do have a YouTube channel, and it's on the Village of Dawn's website. So to argue and keep going back and forth with her, no.
It's not on the village website.
It's not on the website at all, it's like YouTube.
It's one or two meetings on the website from
Just
last
said it
year.
wasn't on. No.
There's none from recent, no,
Okay,
no, none.
okay.
Other than
Everybody has,
a
everybody
while-
number up here can
A
contact
while ago,
whoever
there's
they want action.
one or two meetings on there, Tiffany, and those meetings are like 4 sections of one meeting.
Okay, well, that's his
So I don't
argument.
use
You can
response.
direct him to do whatever you need done.
Trustee Henry,
Yes.
that gentleman who's taking care of our website, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to just, sorry. Charities. Where is he? He does need to be here because I thought that he was doing our website.
He don't do our website. From my recollection, he just post things on it when
Well-
it's given to him.
Okay. So, are you in constant contact with Charities? Or have you talked to him? Do you all communicate in any kind of way so that, I mean, we're paying you to do a job, so are you communicating with him so that you can get your tape to him so it can get posted on our website?
I've just been giving them over and they,
Giving them over to
it's in,
Trustee Henry. So, are you seeing Charities? I mean, he needs to come this way and start getting that stuff.
I don't want nothing to do with the site. Y'all can give everything to Mr. Irvin. So my name is out of it. So if there's something to be posted on the site, give it to the administrator.
Okay, again, with technology the way it is, are you computer literate?
yes.
So could you take what you tape here every night, edit the next day, and have it to him by a certain time on Tuesday so they can be posted by end of business day Tuesday or beginning Wednesday morning?
Sure.
Bam, there you have it.
I'd like to make a motion to reduce the gross payroll to $302,085.
we don't have this resolved yet.
I don't know, in my mind, that just sounded too close to right and too simple because you don't have to get in your car and drive it all the way over there and then come back. You have modern technology. All you have to do is email as an attachment so that he can put it or post it on the website. So, I mean, easy breezy.
Can you email that fast?
Those are usually over 8 gig. You have to get into a paid mail system.
Can you do it in 2 parts then?
Oh, we try it. Like I said, the minimum on a board meeting is somewhere around 8 gig minimum. Usually they're somewhere like 24 gig or something like that. And
Okay.
then you cut it over to AVI, it really don't work out too good, so try to keep it in a robust format. But, yeah, we just, no.
Well, I truly believe 2 heads is better than 1 and 5 is better than 3. So if you all get together, I'm sure you all can figure something out so that you're not just standing there taping a meeting that no one can ever see.
Okay.
I agree.
All right,
I have one question. Is the amount that you're charging us, does that include editing?
That was straight through. What we do is, we shoot here, then we have to translate it over into, the way Charles came in, it's supposed to be just shoot and turn it to a DVD. That don't work. You gotta drop it into a system, adjust the audio levels and whatever like that, then you burn it onto a DVD. And that's the process.
So what I'm
But
trying to
no,
find
but
out,
y'all weren't, you didn't schedule me, all you wanted me to do was shoot it and burn it to a disc. And I can't do that. I'm actually putting in more time than billing.
well, that's what I want to know. The amount of money we're paying, is that going to get us something viewable? Or is it going to cost us more money for you to put it on, to give it to chariots to get it on, so that people can see it on YouTube?
The better thing to do is to come out the hard drive right into the server system. And then that's it, because even once I do what I gotta do, he still got hours to take it and put it into a system and put it onto the internet. That's still a lot more hours, so it's best
So I
to,
think we need to get our costs. We need, before we decide to do this, we need to know what it's going to cost. Because we don't want to come back and find out that it was thousands of dollars more to put it on.
What we need is equipment from the media center that I've been crying about forever. That's what we need, and we won't have this issue. And they go straight on Channel 4 like it's been.
Well, I think that's something we need to discuss.
well, media center's remote. Nobody's been in there since January. I think it was January's last time anybody's been in there. I had a discussion with Comcast to move that equipment over to our new building. And they said if they can do it, it's going to be very, very, very expensive. And if they move it, it may, in fact, they may not be able to move the old equipment. We may have to buy new equipment. So I just had that meeting with them 2 weeks ago. So once we get into the building, then they would send a technician out and put a plan together if it can be moved, or we really have to order all new equipment to get it done.
So what are you gonna do with it if you guys are speaking of selling the building? The equipment gotta come out.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, if that equipment that's in there now cannot be utilized in our new building, then it would be worth the cost of removing it. And just whoever bought the building would have to.
That don't make sense. They have hard drives, village information on there. Why would we leave that in there? That doesn't make sense to me.
What doesn't make sense is to try to use that antiquated equipment, which is a number of years old, to move it, and it wouldn't work for us.
So where's the budget for the equipment?
Where's the budget?
For the equipment that you're saying we have to buy new equipment, how are we gonna afford that?
There is no budget.
So
Because
we're
when the
gonna
budget,
to a new building with nothing, so we're gonna have the same situation we got now, no channels.
there was no budget put into place for the removal and installation of the equipment from the old media center to the new building. So, and Ken can attest to this, that equipment is so old, and it's always a lot of times it's malfunctioning, and it malfunctioned when we were going into the building on several occasions. It had to be updated to even get it to run.
So that's not what I asked. I
What
asked,
did you
where's
ask?
the budget, where's the amount to buy new equipment?
You
So
did-
where we gonna get the dollars to buy the new equipment? If you say we can't use those, and we wanna purchase new, where we gonna allocate for the dollars?
I didn't say we were gonna purchase new, and it was not placed in the budget to buy new equipment. So if we're gonna have to need new equipment to put in that building, then you have to figure out a way to make it happen, if you want it to happen. All I'm saying is that the gentleman I spoke with from Comcast said it probably would not be cost effective to try to move that equipment into the new building because of the age of the equipment and the fiber optic lines that we have to go into, which is not what's there in the media center now. So it may be cost prohibitive to even put it in there. It may have to look at there being a further delay of getting Channel 4 up.
But that's what I'm saying. All this debate and argument, and we have no plan. You study just going back and forth with one another, but what is the plan? That's my question.
You need to put a plan in place.
I'm asking you, you the leader.
I think we need to get back to
You
YouTube.
need to, hold on a minute, hold on a minute, hold on a minute. You don't just put a plan in overnight. We're not in the new building yet, and you cannot figure out a plan on the installation to bring that equipment over there until we're in the building.
Okay, so can we agree to, let's get a plan together?
Well, here's the
That's what I just
plan.
said.
Okay, that's what I'm
We've
saying, I'm
got-
just reiterating that,
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
okay.
We have one YouTube video or two on the internet. How did they get there? If they can get there, this one can get there. We just have to figure out how that one got there.
I think somebody knows how it got there. I just think all we need is a cost from Kenneth and a cost from Chariot to put it on, and then we can make an intelligent decision.
But
Until
nobody,
we get that, we can't even talk about it.
And that's a
We don't
start,
know the cost.
okay, we got a plan, that's a start right there.
Okay, that can be put on the agenda, it can be discussed later, but until we get into the building, find out exactly where we go, find out exactly what it would take to put, to have communication with that building, and what's gonna be, usable from the old building versus being able to put it into the new building.
Do you have a date for the review?
No, I
I'm
don't.
trying to do a new motion.
Okay, all right,
Mayor, I make a motion, I want to,
we're done with this issue? Okay.
I do want to, I do not want to approve overtime for exempt employees, so I want to decrease the gross payroll to $302,085.00. I don't think the board should.
I'm sorry, where,
What page are you on?
first?
Do you have the payroll report? I think it's payroll report page 2, we paid an employee an extra $1,600 in overtime. And they shouldn't have got it. I don't think we should.
You want to make a motion to?
I just made a motion, I made a motion.
Okay.
To remove the overtime from an exempt employee.
It's on a condensed payroll, Jim.
It's on $1,622.60.
I got a question, Mr. Mayor.
Okay,
It's on.
If you do that, how does that work if it's paid out?
Well, that's the point. The money's gone in, and I think my suggestion is you approve the bills and you've directed the administrator to make the adjustment. And you can make the adjustment at the next payroll stand.
I can do it at the next payroll. I'd like the opportunity to speak with the employee tomorrow. It could be that maybe he would be willing to either write a check or transfer it back. We'll get the money back, I just don't know which way we'll get it right now.
I'm just, why would we, if we know this is wrong, is it one option is to decrease it and say we don't want to improve it? I mean, can we do it that way?
you know, trustee.
I know it's paid out already, but that doesn't mean that
I
it's
think,
correct.
if I may interject for a second, I think what trustee Hunt is trying to say is he doesn't want to go on record for approving something that shouldn't have been done. He's not saying that we're not going to correct it. I think he wants to go on record as that he's not approving the payment.
Yeah.
Is that-
Well, you know, just if you want to use an example, just as he made the correction in the minutes, he didn't want to approve it as it was, he made the correction and then we approved it. So we're going to make the correction here. What would be the difference? You know, you approve it with the exception of the correction of that's going to be.
My thing is we spent about 10 to 15 minutes talking about an exempt employee getting paid overtime. I just want to make a note on the record that at least I made a motion and we do decrease the gross payroll by that amount. If I don't get a second, it dies, but I mean, that's what I'm putting it out there that I did make that motion. So you guys can say, the trustee board has been second, you can say no, I would like to pay it the way it is, or yes.
You have the exact amount in regards to the overtime.
It's $1,622.60.
That's with the including the deductions and.
That's just the gross, that's the gross payment. Just the gross, that's the gross amount.
Trustee, what page is that?
That number,
That's on page 2.
so that number be correct?
You got the condensed journal?
Yeah.
I got it.
Can I ask one thing? Did the person who was supposed to be paid not get paid? You got it? Then how?
Well, Janet actually called and contacted you today, and she just said she didn't get a follow-up yet. So she called to kind of tell you what was going on.
But my email was down.
Okay,
So she called.
where we at? We got a motion and a second, okay. The motion and second to reduce the gross payroll, is that what you're saying, Trustee Knapp?
Yes.
To reflect the amount that he is suggesting, $1,600 or some change. Any questions?
Yeah,
I got it.
I just don't understand it, because we paid it already. What are you gonna approve?
You can speak with your vote, yes or no, Trustee Pearson. If it doesn't make sense to you, just say no.
Well, you're the finance
Well, let's
person.
make sure.
I asked you a
I
question
mean, I'm
because
telling you
you're
the
the
truth. I
finance
mean,
person.
because I personally, we spent 15 minutes on it, I'm not gonna approve something I know is wrong.
Okay,
That's how I do
let's
my
make
vote.
sure that the correction that you made, $1,600.
Look, in the business,
Exactly, correct.
in the business where this happens all the time,
Yeah,
if you don't understand it,
yeah.
we'll move forward.
Okay, Trustee Pearson, thank you. Is that amount correct, John? Correct. Okay. 1,600 and some change, that's correct?
1622.60.
Okay, all right. Any further questions?
Nope.
All right. Okay,
This will have to amend, reflect the deduction of the overpayment to Hughes.
okay.
So both the amendment first and then the overall bill is.
Okay, roll call.
Trustee Bendel?
Aye.
Trustee Pearson?